morning, student. Today we will study first chapter, measurement, in class 9th. The first topic is physical quantity. What is physical quantity? A physical property that can be measured and described by the number is called physical quantity. Suppose that how will you measure the weight of a person? Mass in kg. So mass is a physical quantity and kg is its unit. Similarly, length of anything like table, 3 meter means length is a physical quantity and meter is its unit. Area, so area is a physical quantity and meter square is its unit. Temperature is a physical quantity and Kelvin is its unit. Now, physical quantities are of two types. Number one, fundamental quantities. What are fundamental quantities? The quantities which do not depend on any other quantities, known as fundamental quantities, like length, mass, time, temperature. These are fundamental quantities. Now, second is derived quantities. What are derived quantities? The quantities which depends on other quantities, means more than one quantities. But the quantity which depend more than one quantity is known as derived quantities. Suppose that, for example, we take speed. Speed is equal to distance upon time or length upon time. So length is a physical quantity, time is another physical quantity. Now these are 7 fundamental quantities which you have to learn, and their unit and the symbol. Very important. 1 or 2 marks question used to come. Like mass is a physical quantity, unit is kilogram, symbol is kg. Length, physical quantity, unit is meter, symbol is m. Time, physical quantity, second is its units and s is its symbol. Electric current is the physical quantity, ampere is its unit and capital A is the symbol. Temperature, measured in Kelvin, symbol is capital K. Luminous intensity, candela, symbol is CD. Amount of substance, mole, symbol is mol. Now, these are some important derived quantities for your syllabus. Only these derived quantities you have to learn. Force is a quantity, unit is Newton, symbol is capital N. Pressure is a physical quantity, unit is Pascal, symbol is capital P, small a. Energy or work, like kinetic energy, potential energy, only energy, work, it is a physical quantity. Name of unit joule, symbol capital J, small j, sorry. Power, watt, capital W. Frequency, hertz, symbol is Hz. Electric current, coulomb, symbol is capital C, important. Electric resistance, ohm, symbol is this. Electromotive force or potential, volt. Now, next topic is the unit system. So, there are some unit system are there in your syllabus. Number one is MKS system. What is MKS system? A system in which length is measured in meter, mass is measured in kilogram and time is measured in second, known as MKS system. It is a system introduced in France, or it is known as French system. Next is CGS system. It is also introduced by France and known as Gaussian system. These are important terms. Gaussian system. In CGS system, length is measured in centimeter, mass is measured in gram and time is measured in second. Now FPS system. This system was introduced in Britain and it is known as British system. In British system, FPS system, length is measured in foot, mass is in pound and time is in second. These are 3 important systems. Now, another system is known as System International. So, a new system has been introduced known as System International or International System. Short form is SI form. It is also introduced in French name, and the SI unit consists of 7 fundamental units which we had studied first. So that 7 fundamental quantities used to come in this SI system, and some other derived quantities are also come in this system. Another topic in your first chapter is vernier calipers. It is an instrument to measure the length. So these are the main parts of the vernier calipers. This is called inside jaws. This is outside jaws. This is vernier scale. It may be moved. And this is main scale. This is called tail. So these are the important parts of the vernier calipers. Inside jaws, outside jaws, vernier scale, main scale and tail. Learn this part. Now what are the work of these part? First of all, tail. The tail is used to measure the depth of any beaker. Second is inside jaws. Inside jaws are used to measure the inner diameter, and outside jaws is used to measure the outer diameter. These are the function of these three parts. Now how to read the value in a vernier calipers? This is orange one is the vernier scale and this is main scale. So we have to see the zeroth division of the vernier scale. We can see that the zeroth division of the vernier scale is exactly matched to the fifth division of the main scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one division on main scale is 1 mm. So 5 division on main scale, that is 5 mm. So what is the reading? That is 5 mm. Another example. Now in this, first of all we have to see what is the main scale length. We can see this is the 20th division. So it is 21, 22, 23. So 23rd division of the main scale crosses the 0th division. So the main scale reading is 23. Main scale reading is 23. Now vernier scale reading. We have to see which division of the vernier scale match exactly to any division of the main scale. So we can see that the 4th division of the vernier scale exactly match to this line. So the reading of vernier scale is 4 into 0.1. So that is equal to 0.4 mm. So 0.4 mm plus 23. So it will be equal to 23.40 mm. Now this is your homework. You have to read this value and let's take how to read. This is the value 3 centimeter or 30 mm. So it is 3 centimeter, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4 and 3.5, 3.6. So the main scale reading is 3.6. So of course this may be the answer. Now read the vernier scale reading. So which division of the vernier scale exactly match? See, 5th, 6th, 7th, 7th division. Because we are measuring in centimeter, so 7th division means 7 into 0.01 centimeter. So it will become 0.07. So 0.07 plus 3.6. So the answer will be 3.67 centimeter. Now another topic is least count of the vernier calipers. So what is the formula? So least count of the vernier caliper is equal to value of one division on main scale divided by total number of division on vernier scale. So one division in main scale is equal to 1 mm or 0.1 centimeter. If there are 10 division in vernier scale, so 1 divided by 10, that is equal to 0.1 mm, or 1 divided by 10, sorry, 0.1 divided by 10, that is equal to 0.01 centimeter. Now this is your homework. You have to write the name of these parts which we have initially discussed. Another instrument in your syllabus in first chapter is screw gauge. These are the main parts of the screw gauge. This is called anvil or stud. This is spindle. This is main scale, or you can say sleeve. This is the circular scale or rotating scale. This is thimble and this is ratchet. Now, how to read the reading in screw gauge? In the diagram, it is clear that the main scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 divisions in main scale are clearly visible. So the main scale reading is 0.7 centimeter. Now we have to see which division of the circular scale match to this baseline. This is 35, 36, 37 and 38. So 38 division is matching to the baseline. So 38 into 0.001. So 38 into 0.001, that is equal to 0.038 centimeter. On adding these two values, 0.7 plus 0.038 will equal to 0.738 centimeter. This value is in mm. This is in centimeter. Now, this is your homework. In this diagram, you have to calculate the value. Suppose that first I am going to discuss. This is one division. This between the two division, it is a small line. It is 0.05 mm. So this is 1 mm. This is 2 mm. So it is 2.5 mm. So the main scale reading is 2.5 mm. Now the vernier scale reading, it is 45, 46. So 0.25 centimeter plus 46 into 0.001. So that is equal to 0.046. So 0.25 plus 0.046. When you will add, you will get the final result. Similarly, you have to calculate for this diagram. You have to calculate these two as well as these three. This is your homework. Now, the error. We have two types of error. Positive zero error and negative zero error. What is positive zero error? It happens when the zero of the circular scale. This is the circular scale and this is the zero of the circular scale. When the zero of the circular scale placed below the zero of the main scale. So this is the zero of the main scale. If the circular scale 0 lies below to the main scale 0, it is called positive zero error. This is negative zero error. What is negative zero error? It happens when the zero of the circular scale placed above the zero of the main scale. See, this is the baseline and this is 0 of the circular scale. So when the 0 of the circular scale lies above the 0 of the main scale, it is known as negative zero error. Now, we see the 0 of circular scale exactly matched to the 0 of the main scale. It is no zero error. And this 0 of the circular scale lies below the 0 of the main scale, so it is positive zero error. And this 0 of the circular scale lies above the 0 of the main scale, so it is negative zero error. What is least count of a screw gauge? So least count of screw gauge is the pitch of the micrometer. Pitch means value of one division on main scale upon total number of division in circular scale. So the value of one division in main scale is 1 mm and circular division are 100. So the pitch, least count will be 1 upon 100, that is equal to 0.01 mm or 0.001 centimeter. Another topic for this chapter is simple pendulum. So what is a simple pendulum? A simple pendulum consists of a metal bob which is suspended freely from a fixed point using an inelastic spring. Let's see the diagram. This is the bob, this is the spring, this is fixed point. These are the maximum displacement point. So the maximum displacement from the mean position is called amplitude. This is another example, another important definition for this topic. What is amplitude? The maximum displacement from the mean position is known as amplitude. Next is period or time period. The time taken to complete one oscillation is called time period. Or you may say, suppose that for 10 oscillation, the time is 10 seconds, then the time period will be equal to 10 by 10, that is equal to 1 second. Now frequency. What is frequency? The frequency is the number of oscillation taken in 1 second. So F is equal to number of oscillation divided by time, that is equal to frequency. This is the formula of time period. Time period is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. See in this diagram, see in this formula, the time period does not depend on the mass of the ball. So the time period of a simple pendulum is independent from the mass. Now, a very important topic is there in your syllabus, that is the graph of L versus T square. L is called length of the pendulum and T is the time period. So only this diagram you have to draw. Don't write these values. This is y-axis, this is x-axis. On x-axis you have to mark L in meter. On y-axis you have to mark T square in second. And draw a line from these two axes. This is the graph of L versus T square. Today we will discuss the numerical on simple pendulum. So first example, that is a simple pendulum complete 40 oscillation in 1 minute. So number of oscillation is 40, time is 1 minute or 60 seconds. You have to find out frequency and the time period. Let's see the solution. First we will discuss the frequency. Frequency, the number of oscillation taken in 1 second, called frequency. So frequency is equal to oscillation per second. Number of oscillation is 40 divided by time 60 seconds, that is equal to 0.67 second inverse or hertz. Second part of this question, the time period. The time period having a relation with the frequency, that is equal to, time period is equal to 1 upon frequency. So time period we have to find out. Frequency is 0.67 second inverse. So the time period will be 1 upon 0.67, that is equal to 1.5 seconds. Let's see the second question. In second question, it is given the time period of a simple pendulum is 2 seconds. This is time period capital T. What is its frequency? We know the relation between time period and frequency. What name is given to such a pendulum? We have to also tell the name of such pendulum whose time period is 2 seconds. See, the time period is equal to 2 seconds. So frequency is equal to 1 upon time period. So 1 upon 2, that is 0.5 hertz or second inverse. What is the name of such pendulum? Keep reminding, a pendulum having time period of 2 seconds known as second pendulum. So it is written such pendulum is called the second pendulum. Question. A second pendulum is taken to a place where acceleration due to gravity falls to 1/4. First thing, second pendulum, so time period is 2 seconds. It's taken to a place where gravity falls to 1/4. Initial gravity, let G. After some time the gravity becomes 1/4 of initial, means G dash is equal to G by 4. How is the time period of the pendulum affected? Means we have to calculate the new time period. Give reason what will be its new time period. Let's see the solution. Let the new time period be T dash. This is T dash. And let this is G dash be the acceleration due to gravity. We have a relation. Learn this relation. For two different time period and for two different gravity x due to acceleration, there is a relation. T upon T dash is equal to under root G dash upon G. Learn this formula. So, if we solve this problem, we will get T upon T dash is equal to under root G dash upon G, or T upon T dash is equal to under root G dash is 1/4 of initial gravity, so G upon 4 upon G. G and G cancel, it will be equal to under root 1/4. Under root 1/4 is equal to 1/2. Cross multiply, 2 will come here, so new time period T dash will be twice the initial time period. So T dash, actually it is not T, it is T dash, that is 2 into 2, that is 4 seconds. Fourth question. Find the length of the seconds pendulum. So second pendulum means the time period will be capital T is equal to 2 seconds. At a place where G is equal to 10 meter per second square. Meter per second square is the unit of acceleration due to gravity. Take pi. Pi is equal to 3.14. Let's see the solution. See, G is given 10 meter per second square and the time period of second pendulum, that is 2 seconds. Let L, small l, be the length of the second pendulum. Now, from the formula, this is the formula of time period. T is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. Learn this formula. T is equal to 2 pi under root L by G. L is the length and G is acceleration due to gravity. So, whatever values are given, keep here. So, T, that is 2 pi under root L upon G is 10. If we square to both sides, or you can say 2 and 2 cancel, 1 will left, and then you square it, then L by 10 is equal to 1 upon pi square. So L by 10 is equal to 1 upon pi square. See, L by 10 is equal to 1 upon pi square. So L is equal to cross multiply 10 upon value of pi was given 3.14 whole square. On solving, we will get L is equal to 1.0142 seconds. So length of the second pendulum at any place where acceleration due to gravity is 10, that is equal to approximate 1 meter. Actually it is meter. See the fifth question. Compare the time period of two pendulums of length 1 meter and 9 meter. Length of first pendulum, that is L is equal to 1 meter, and second pendulum L2 is equal to 9 meter respectively. Let's see the solution. Let T1 and T2 be the time period of the two pendulums of the length L1 1 meter and 9 meter. Means T1 having the length 1 meter, T2 having the length 9 meter respectively. Because we know the formula, T is equal to 2 pi under root L upon G. So L is 1. So T1 is equal to 2 pi under root 1 upon G, and T2 is equal to 2 pi under root 9 by G. See, in the root, if you are taking the root in complete equation, so 2 pi and 2 pi will cancel. In complete under root it will come 1 upon G whole upon 9 by G. G and G cancel, so it will come under root 1 by 9. So T1 upon T2, that is equal to 1 upon 9. If you are taking out the square root of this part, then it will become 1 by 3. So T1 upon T2 is equal to 1 by 3. This is the ratio of the two time period.